Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Another episode of Trash Talk, sitting down with Nico Jefferson, coming off of a big win in Austin, Minnesota, TKO in the first round. How'd you feel after that performance?
First of all, I want to say that I'm glad that Clay wasn't hurt due to the fight. Because I like you never want. Well, just speaking for myself, I don't want to hurt anyone to where they can't go to work, they can't provide for their family. You know what I'm saying? They can't play with their kids, stuff like that. So I'm glad he wasn't hurt due to the fight. Um, you know, you, I want to hurt somebody, but I kind of want to hurt them like just enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
want for like weeks or I don't want no shit like that, man. So I'm glad he wasn't hurt due to the fight. And I want to say this, I would never, ever, I would never disrespect another fighter in any form of fashion. That's not even my character, man. But see, the people that know me, they already know that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Yeah.
like the stuff this guy's doing. He's trying to convince the people that don't know me, and that's what I had an issue with because that's not even my style, man.
You're talking about Brian Mortensen, his teammate that tried
Yeah,
to. Okay.
I'm talking about Brian Bmo, whatever the fuck this guy's
Emo
name is.
I don't know if you've seen
So
the interview, but he kept showing the money hand. I didn't know that was a real tattoo. I I thought that was pretty funny, but he kept
right,
doing it.
that,
But
that was
yeah,
that was,
sorry, I'll let
that
you
was pretty
continue. I
funny.
interrupted you.
It's all good. It's all good. So with the Clay situation during the fight, my emotions after the fight was for one when I fought in Minnesota some years back. Because I'm a Minnesota guy myself. I
Yeah.
grew up in Minnesota. Part of my childhood, I grew up in Minnesota. I have a lot of family in Minnesota. That's why when I fight in Minnesota, you know what I'm saying, I have a pretty decent gathering. Um, so when I fought there back in 2016, I believe, um, I was man, like I used to be real muscular. I used to be a lot more muscular than I
You
am.
still
And
are.
but I used to cut from like 180, man. Like the cuts was
Oh,
bad. And the day before the fight, I had to lose like 20 pounds. And I think I missed weight by like 1.2 pounds or something like that. So I was like killing myself to get down. When I got down in weight, I got down to like 156 and I couldn't do it anymore. But the day of the fight, I was like 159 or something like that. Like I was very light the day of the fight. I kept throwing up. My body was rejecting everything. And not taking anything away from Bobby Lee because he's great. He did his thing. He dominated that fight, but that was nearly not the best version that I could have put out. So winning that fight, going back to Minnesota, you know what I'm saying? Like after the fight, I think I held my head back and I yelled. I was like motherfucker or something like that, something crazy like that. And
yeah.
and different angles, like you can see. Even my coach was telling me like watch your mouth, because like, we don't want to put that type of image out there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it wasn't like it wasn't me, talking shit to Clay or anything like that. That was personal for myself because
Yeah.
of when I came up to Minnesota, I had a bad performance. And also another thing, um, that was my 43rd fight. When I fought Clay, that was my 43rd fight. Um,
Damn.
and in my 43 fights, I've lost a few fights. And it seems like the fights I lose, Greg Lowe is the fucking announcer when I lose a fight. And I told him back in 2017, I told him I don't even know if he remembers, but every time I fight and Greg's announcer, we always talk, we chop it up. And Greg's a good dude, man. Man, funny guy. I love that dude. We chop it up and stuff. And I told him the next time that he announced one of my fights, I'll be winning by first round TKO. I told him that back in 2017. So
Yeah.
and this is before I even knew Clay existed. I didn't know anything about a Clay Utley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this was way before. And so the day of the fight, I seen Greg in the lobby. I seen Greg in the lobby the day of the fight, and I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, I didn't know he was the announcer. And I was like, and I talked to him the day of the fight, and I was like, man, look, I I love to see you coming, but at the same time, I hate to see you coming because I always lose when this dude's the announcer. So,
you finally
so
broke that curse.
right, right. So I just happened to win by first round TKO, like I told him back in 2017, and that's what that emotion was after the fight. It didn't have anything to do with Clay. It had nothing to do with Clay. So I don't know where this whole thing of my after fight stuff or whatever had. I was talking shit to Clay or I was boasting. I was not boasting. That was some personal conversation between Greg and I.
That's one of the things that I don't like about MMA. Like, okay, so if I win a football game and I'm celebrating and I'm happy or whatever, it's like I have the right to celebrate because I just won that game. Well, fighting, you put so much more into it. It's like I'm not celebrating necessarily the fact that I just beat the shit out of somebody. I'm celebrating the fact that I won and I accomplished my goal. Like it just happened to be you. It's not you that I'm trying to like show off in front of. I'm trying to celebrate my accomplishment. And some people, it does bother me that some people think that, oh, you're talking shit because you're happy you won.
Absolutely. Right. Like I'm fucking happy I won. You know what I'm saying? Like the situations I just explained, it was a lot built up and I actually did what I said I was going to do. And when I made the comment to Greg in 2017, I'd never even heard of the name Clay. It had nothing to do with Clay. It had everything to do with me. That was my own personal gain. And I just happened to win. So that was a huge accomplishment for me, for myself. Yeah. And but this guy, oh my God, like okay, where do I start? The fucking lies, man. All right. Now, I didn't even know who this guy was, right? I don't even know, and this is not to disrespect him or anything like that, but I didn't even know who this guy was. Like I'm not on like the leaderboards and like stalking these fighters and trying to when I have an opponent, then I check that fighter out. That's it. Like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not searching who is who.
He's not even on your radar.
It's not even on my radar. Like, and I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm worried about myself. So so for him to say that I called him out or anything like that, dude, that's bullshit. Like he's making it seem as if I'm like fucking Bolo from Fist of Fury, not Fist of Fury. What was Enter the Dragon? No, actually Chung-Li, but it's the same actor. You know, like after he win the fight and he's looking through the crowd and he pointing like you're next and giving the throat slash. Like I don't even know who the fuck you are. So how can I look through the crowd and scan you out and say you next and say I'm fighting you? I don't even know you.
That's a really good point. Bro. That's a really good point. And then too, you're inside the cage after you just got done fighting. He shows up to watch the fights. I don't know where his seat was in the crowd, but in the video that I seen, he obviously approached you in the cage.
He approached me. Now, mind you, I'm a motherfucker that loves to fight. I love to fight. Listen, man, the promoters I work with, they would tell you, I've took fights on short notice. I've took, 48-hour notice fights. I mean, whatever. I always keep myself in shape. Today's Friday. If a card contact me today, you know what I'm saying, and I was able to get to that location in time, like I will fight tonight. Like I'm always in shape. My weight is always good. I can cut down, I can make the weight. I'm always ready to fight. So with that being said, with him yelling at me through the cage and asking me, what did he say? I think he said, do I want to see him? He was like, you want to see me? Like he just kept yelling. And I said, yes. And then he started talking again. And he was acting like he couldn't hear me. And I said, yes. He kept talking about fighting. I'm like, who is this dude? So the bullshit of me calling him out or whatever, dude, that's a fucking lie. I don't know who you trying to convince, but come on, man. Like make your lies believable. Like I'm not gonna scan through a random crowd of people that I don't even fucking know and just say, this guy right here, he looks like a fighter. I want to fight him. Come to the stage. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here. He called me out and I accepted. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Like he said he wanted to fight. I can, you know what? I can't even make out what all he was saying, but I knew he wanted to fight me. That's all I know. But I got some info from my homegirl, and this goes a little deeper than what I'm talking about right here, because the shit he did, it was premeditated. It was premeditated like a motherfucker. a couple of my homegirls that came from Illinois, actually Indiana, they were at the fight, and he was sitting next to him. And um, all throughout the fight, he was talking shit and he was trying to make bets. He was trying to bet on the main event, and
He
so he was
does seem that he
talking.
likes to bet.
Yeah. See, and I don't even know that. I don't even know. I know nothing about this dude, like the gamble or anything. So he was trying to bet these women, and these were two women that are they're supporters of me. And so he's trying to bet. He's trying to buy them drinks. He's trying to holler at them, and they were there for me. So he was already feeling some type of way. And when the fight comes and I win, and my homegirl, she posted the video, and you can hear him talking shit in the background. You can hear him
Yeah.
talking shit in the background. So all of this explains the after fight stuff. It all makes sense now. It all
Yeah.
makes sense because the girls that he was flirting with and trying to buy drinks and trying to talk to and sitting next to, they were actually there for me. And so all the bullshit after the fight, that shit was premeditated. But
Yeah.
this is my thing, like bro, like don't be fake about it, bro. Like just man, keep that shit a buck, and we can get it cracking. It's as simple as that. You don't have
Yeah.
to lie. You don't have to make it seem like, yeah, oh, this guy was boasting, and after the fight I went, bro, he never fucking went up to me after the fight. After the fight, let me explain what happened. I was with my family, taking pictures, talking to my family and friends. The only people I talked to outside of that were Chris Miller, the DJ, and Clay's brother. I had a whole conversation with Clay's brother. I talked to Clay's brother for about 15 minutes. And that was it. So I never even saw this guy after the fight. I don't know where he get this shit from. Like, but see, you know what? The guy, he's a pathological liar, man. I listen, man. I peeped this shit out because first he kicked it off by saying I called him out. And he also said in the video, before he said that I called him out in the video, he said how he spoke how he went to the cage and he was yelling and talking shit at me like, bro, like which one is it? I can't call you out.
Can't be
And you
both.
also, like, come on, man. Like you admitted that you came to the cage and you was talking shit, and I responded. And that's all it was. That's all
Yeah.
it was, man. Like all this other shit and
Well, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but I'm like in the interview that him and I were doing, he did say that he's not even cleared to fight right now. So, I mean, after the video was posted, I got some private messages from other people saying like, why is he calling somebody out or why is he accepting a fight when he's not cleared? So I mean, is he on your radar at all right now? I mean, knowing that he isn't cleared, I mean, granted, you're down to fight anybody, but what are you gonna put a lot of focus on this dude trying to get this fight, knowing that it might not happen?
absolutely. Listen, man. People always underestimate me, man. They always underestimate me, but I love it though. I love it. You know what I'm saying? This guy's acting like he said I can't make it out the first round against him. He said something about he would do a half-ass training camp, or he wouldn't train or some shit like that. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. See, I started fighting at 27. This shit all happened by accident. I'm 34. I'll be 35 May 15th. But I still have a lot of fight in me. Like don't get that shit twisted.
Yeah.
It all happened by accident. I went to the gym and I just wanted to learn some technique, and I always loved martial arts. And through all this, see, I don't have that martial arts background. I don't have a wrestling background. I don't have anything. And with me fighting a lot of tough guys, there's an interview that I did about a year ago, and the interview was about like, you know what I'm saying, about like throughout my amateur career, like why do you take so many tough fights? Like I put a lot of blemishes on undefeated records, a lot of blemishes.
Yeah.
I fought a lot of guys that were ranked top 5 in their state or in Illinois, or top 3 as an amateur. I was ranked either number 1, 2, or 3 for like 3 years. And I finished a lot of people. Like I said, I have over 20 knockouts or TKO finishes. I got a lot of fucking power in both hands, in both legs. So this guy acting like, I don't even stand a chance. Like, bro, like you sound ridiculous, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna sit here and act like, even with me saying that, like, okay, let's take the fight against Clay, for instance. when I dropped him, he had a couple opportunities where actually one of the punches I threw, I kind of my body position was a little bad. I leaned in a little, further than I should have,
Yeah,
and he could have fucking submitted me right there. Clay's like, he's a high level jits guy. He could have
yeah,
submitted me right, and then we'd be talking about a first round submission instead of a first round victory TKO for me. So
yeah,
in this sport, you can never have this attitude as if like you just untouchable because
yeah,
nobody is. You know what I'm saying? And so just having that mindset right there, and thinking this dude just gonna wash me like that. Like, bro, okay, you gonna have a rude fucking awakening. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like listen, man. I've dropped guys that were fucking blocking, and I hit their gloves and I knocked them out. I'm
yeah.
talking about like I hit guys and I lift them off their fucking feet. Like this, these aren't some fucking tall tales that I'm saying. Like they're on YouTube. You
Yeah,
go to
no, I was
YouTube.
checking those out. TJ, my partner that we do the breakdowns with, he was me and him were talking because I really like Clay, so I was rooting for
Yeah,
him, not against you, but I was just rooting for him. Me and him were going back and forth. He was saying how much power you have. Anytime you connect, even with the jab, you're gonna feel it. So I mean, what where does that come from? Is it just naturally powerful, or did you start to like just develop power and your striking?
I a bit of it, it came natural, and it also like I'm very 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 explosive. You know what I mean? Like very explosive, and
Yeah.
I've kind of developed that through. I actually developed more explosion as I cut down. My first fight was it was supposed to be at 205. My very
Damn.
first fight, yeah. And I fought 185, I fought 170, and now I fight 55. In kickboxing, I fight a lot of like 65 and stuff like that. Kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I've just been naturally blessed with some good power. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I've hit guys and I've lifted them off their feet. It's not some shit I'm making up. You can go on YouTube and watch the videos. Um, Guys blocking punches and I've knocked them out through their gloves and shit like that. So this guy's acting like I have no chance fucking whatsoever against him. Okay, we're gonna see, bro. We're
Yeah.
gonna see.
I,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
it because he's inactive, and he's talking shit about you, and it's getting some attention. I interviewed him about it, and I reached out to you about it. I'm like, so it's only helping you out, really. Granted that he wants to get back into the game, but as of right now, it's just bringing attention to an active fighter.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not hurting you at all. But what would you like to do next? On a fighting an opponent that's actually eligible right now.
We're looking at we've reached out to Shamrock FC in St. Louis, V3 in Memphis, King of the Cage. I mean, tough enough, a little bit of everybody, man. And
Yeah.
like right now, we're just waiting for an offer. I had a couple opportunities, you know what I'm saying, but I guess they didn't fall through. So right now we waiting on an offer, waiting on the guy to sign a contract or anything. Again, like I said, like I'm a guy that just always likes to fight, man. I had 1 year I fought like 11 times in a year. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
man, I'm active. I'm very active. So
Yeah.
I like to fight. You know what I'm saying? So like, man, whenever this guy gets healthy, I think it's bullshit that he's running his mouth and saying all this, and he can't technically fight right now. So, but when that time comes, I'll definitely be ready. I'll definitely be ready. And I don't want to hear, look, bro, just sober the fuck up, man. The man, look, I think I don't know. I think the brother was drunk. I think because
Yeah, him and I were taking shots before all this went down. I walked away from the cage after the fight was over. I didn't even see the post-fight interview or any of this stuff, so it was all new to me when I found it on Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like I talked to Clay's brother, man. I talked to his brother for about 15 minutes, man. And I forget his name, but he's a good dude. And we chopped it up. I never disrespected that guy. I've never, man, everybody that I've fought in the past, like I'm all Facebook friends with these dudes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like a lot of these dudes I've trained with after the fight. I've hung out with some of these guys. Like it's not a fight to the fucking death. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a fucking movie. At the end of the movie, if I lose this fight, they'll burn my village will be burned down or some shit like that. Like, no, man, this is sport and respect amongst fighters and shit like that. So some of the stuff that he's saying, like he said, look, man, if he did, I never remember having a conversation with this dude after the fight. Bro, I swear to God, I never remember talking to this dude. He said he came up to me and I was disrespectful to him and I was boasting. Bro, if he came up to me after the fight, I was probably talking to my family, my friends, Clay's brother, like I said. I never remember this dude. But so if he did say something to me after the fight, I don't remember that. So, but as far as
you were the more sober one, so I'm gonna take your word for it. Honestly, I like Brian, but I'm gonna believe you on this one just because he 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 was drunk and he even told me that he blacked out while he was calling you out. Like he doesn't remember the whole thing. He just did it.
this dude, man, like the shit reminds me like fucking Rick James, man. Like Rick James said he didn't grind his feet on Eddie's couch and shit. And then like, yeah, I remember grinding my feet on Eddie's couch. Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, man? So like I understand the guys, he's a bit delusional, man, or a bit fucking drunk or some shit. I don't know. But I would love to fight the dude. I will absolutely love to fight him. I don't know shit about his record. I don't know shit. I don't know anything about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But if we can set the fight up, if we, you know what I'm saying, if it's possible later in the year or whenever, like, let's just do it. And I don't want to hear, when we do it, let's do the shit the right way. Like, I don't want no fake ass injuries. I don't want no backouts. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want it to be where he has any type of like lingering injuries from some prior, like, no, bro, get 100% healthy. Let's take away all the excuses. And let's step in there and make the best man win. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who, you know what I'm saying, who does what. Because I know what the fuck I do. I know how I fight. I know how I bring it. You know what I'm saying? I know, like, let's do it, man. And like I said, I made a post yesterday, like, you know, I come to finish the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting to finish the fight. I'm not fighting to try to get a decision, man. So if that's what type of fighter he is, then let's make this shit exciting. Let's get the crowd something to see.
Hell yeah. Is there anyone that you'd like to shout out or thank for your victory against Clay, and anything you'd like to say to anybody in the future, or any sponsors you'd like to thank?
I want another fight in Minnesota, man. I like Minnesota.
Yeah. Well, LFA's coming in May. I don't know if the card's full yet, but
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Jeremy Bjornberg's the guy to talk to. I don't. He's the promoter for the driller cards also, but I know he has a big hand in the matchmaking for LFA.
Okay.
So,
okay, definitely. I mean, my Team Genesis family, my supporters, the people that travel with me. I mean, everybody. Like you know, I mean, as a fighter, we can't do this shit alone, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it may be an individual sport, but we need everybody. We need every little piece. We need every little, everything counts, man. So, like this is very much so a team sport, you know what I'm saying, behind the curtain. So, and I just love it, man. I love this sport. I wish I'd have gotten to this sport much sooner. But this is something I love, man, and I'm gonna keep riding this wave until I slow down. You know what I'm saying? So as of right now, I'm trying to be very active. I'm trying to fight as much as possible, man. Like any promoter that's ever dealt with me, they all can vouch for me. They all listen. Anybody that, man, had some type of call out or said they wanted to fight, or meet me at lightweight and let's do it. Meet me at lightweight and let's do it. Like I don't back down from fights. I've accepted all of them. I fought some of the top guys in multiple states in MMA and kickboxing and Muay Thai. You know what? I've won some and I've lost some, but I responded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, this guy, man, we can do it. We can dance, man. You know what I'm saying? We can make this shit happen. And I promise you, I'm coming to finish the fight. I'm not like, it's not going to be no fucking, Judge one got the score 20. Like, no, it's not going to be no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finishing the fight. So that's the way I fight. That's the way I bring it. I'm very aggressive. Man, if I get an opening, I'm gonna pounce on you. Like I said, I'm very explosive. I got a lot of power, and once I see an opening or I see a mistake, if you throw a lazy punch, a lazy kick, anything like that, I'm gonna capitalize on it, and I'm gonna hit you, and hopefully I can drop you. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I fight. So I like to bring it, man. And look, I'm ready to do it. But this guy, I sense his energy, man. I know what type of guy he is, man. I watched it a little bit later. Like I told you, first I said I watched the first 5 minutes, and it was so many fucking lies. I'm like, man, whatever. And so I finished the rest, and I watched it. I played it while I was driving. I wasn't watching it, but the guy kept, he's a pathological fucking liar, or he was probably just drunk off his ass. I don't know, one or the two. You know what I'm saying? But the reason people gravitate towards me, and that's what the shit was about. That's what it was about, because like I said, my homegirl posted the video, and he was talking shit about me in the video, and he was trying to buy them drinks. He was also mad at other people that were supporting me and shit like that too. So, but the reason people gravitate towards me is because of my fucking energy, man. The reason people probably pull away from his ass is because of that same reason. It's because of his energy. You know what I'm saying? So I can go. This is why I fight in different states. I can fight in St. Louis or Vegas or anywhere, and they might start off booing me, but afterwards, I'm gonna be taking pictures with people. I'll be chopping it up with people, shaking hands, because people sense your energy, man. People sense your energy, and people gravitate towards you when they feel a good vibe. You know what I'm saying? When they feel a good vibe, and they feel you're just a genuine person. You know what I'm saying? You got a good energy about yourself, and that's what people gravitate towards too. And you know what I'm saying? So, but I get what he's doing. When you look at a lot of like rivalries and stuff like that, or a lot of fight beefs or whatever, oftentimes you have a good guy versus bad guy type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So he likes to try to play that bad guy role. He likes to try to play that bad guy role, but at the same time, if you're gonna play that role, then accept that shit. Accept it. If you're gonna play the role, accept. Don't say shit like, I don't know why people want to see me lose. I don't know why people want me to get knocked out, because you took on that fucking role. That's why people want to see you get knocked out. Because after a fight, you try to take my moment of winning, and you try to humiliate me, or you try to bully me, whatever the fuck you plan on doing, and you try to take my moment and make my moment about you. That's why people want to knock your ass out. That's why people want to see you lose. Don't try to play. You know what I'm saying? Don't want pity after you take on the fucking bad guy role. If you're gonna take the bad guy role, then accept that shit, bro. Accept that shit and wear that shit proudly. You know what I'm saying? Don't cross that line and then say, want me to win. Don't boo me. Don't want me to lose. Like bro, because I can fuck around, come to Minnesota, and have more people ride with me in Minnesota than you in your own state. So if you're gonna take that role, then take that shit. If that's what you're gonna do, then do it.
Man, dude, I loved having you on today, dude. You said some really good shit. This is gonna be a great episode, bro. Man.
Absolutely. Hey, this is a dope ass show, man. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of the older shows and stuff like that, man. I like what you're doing. I really like what you're doing, man. And you're giving fighters a chance to, you know what I'm saying, let people know actually who they are. You know what I mean? Let people voice, what they do, where they come from, and because it really makes a difference, man. You ever watch like Bellator, and you turn on the show, and as soon as it starts, you got two guys in a cage that you don't know shit about these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they about to fight, and you watching like, I guess I like the blue corner. I guess I like the red corner. You know what I'm saying? But like, I like this show because it puts you in the life of the fighters. You know what I'm saying? You get to see what these guys
connection some way. You if you don't like a guy, you find in the interviews or whatever, something's gonna reveal to you a reason why you should like him or a reason why you don't like him, or what have you. And then say I'm interviewing you, and your family and your friends are watching the interview, and then they follow the page or like the page, and then one day another interview pops up of a completely different fighter, but they like the interview that I gave you. They start to watch it and they get introduced to a fighter they would have never known otherwise, and then hopefully see that fighter later on. It's like, oh, that's the dude from the interview, and be more intrigued into the fight,
Absolutely. Yeah. So man, this is a dope ass platform, man. I wish I'd checked it out sooner, but I'll definitely be sharing this. Cause man, this trash talk, right? Trash
Yep.
talk. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Trash talk needs more views, more thumbs up, more shares. It needs all that, man, because we don't have a lot of these platforms. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of these. And you got to support your local fighters. You got to support your
Exactly.
local fighters. You got to ride with your local fighters, man. You ride with your local fighters while they local before they blow up. You know what I'm saying? And but this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And like I said, if the guy if he wants some fight hype, if he want to talk shit or I mean whatever, bro. Like listen, I'm with the shits, man. I'm with it. I'm
Yeah.
all the way fucking with it. So to say, you know what I'm saying, you reached out and you try to have a fight, so, like I never got that information. Because I would have said, okay, let's do it. So like, bro, I'm with like you can't scare me like that intimidation shit. That shit don't work with me, bro. I'm from the mud, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
from mud, like straight mud. I mean, man, listen, before I moved to Minnesota, like I said, I'm a Minnesota guy myself. I grew up in Long Beach, California. I grew up in a heavy Crip dominated neighborhood.
Yeah.
And like all my childhood, I probably had over fucking 100 street fights. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
probably have. I'm with all the shit, bro. Like everything. So you're not gonna scare me. You're not gonna run me off. You're not gonna say, I tried to fight Nico. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because
Yeah.
I would have accepted. So it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I want that brother to sober up, get his mind straight. You know what I'm saying? And man, let's dance, man.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you again for being on the show, and thank you for the compliments, man. I really do appreciate it. And can't wait to
Absolutely.
get you on again.
Hey, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Dope ass show. I'm gonna make sure I share this.
All right.
He doesn't need any of the smoke. Like I said, if you can't take this, inhale the smoke, don't talk about the smoke.